pyramids. So without any further ado, a warm welcome please to Sam. Thank you.
Very glad to be here. Today we're going to be talking about the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. 4 years ago, I came to little Bosnian town of Visoko, and I saw this site. The town of Visoko is about 25,000 people inhabitants, 25 kilometers northwest from the capital city of Sarajevo in Bosnia. Of course, having traveled all over the world in the last 25 years and seeing hundreds of pyramids, it wasn't very hard for me to conclude that this is one of them. But the obstacle started when I claimed that this was the biggest pyramid on the planet, the oldest, with the oldest ancient concrete, with the most extensive underground tunnel network. So today I will be talking about my road from the discovery to recognition. We heard from Francine that people who discover the crop circles in their yards, they deny that they are man-made. In my case, it was a little bit different. I tried to convince the public in the world that this is not a geological formation, but the product of man-made activities. What they taught us in the school was that the pyramids existed only in Egypt and in Mexico. The truth is a little bit different. The pyramids were built everywhere, from South America, Peru, Bolivia, to Central America, Honduras, Guatemala, Salvador, Belize, Mexico, Atlantic Ocean, Canarian Islands, Africa, Egypt, Sudan, Mauritius, and Asia, China, Japan. The 21st century will be the era of researching the pyramids and trying to get the lost knowledge of the pyramid builders. I would say that there are some common properties of the pyramid complexes. First, of course, the geometry. In most cases, 90%, we have triangular faces, 4 of them, and square base. Second, these are built structures. They are not work of nature. The third, in most cases, we have a perfect orientation, north, south, east, and west. Angle of repose. These are very stable structures. Inside the pyramids, we have passageways and chambers. And finally, in most cases, the underground tunnel network follows the pyramids. But what do we know about them? After 200 years of investigation, Egyptology has not answered the main questions about the pyramids, at least about the main ones, about the main 6 pyramids, which are the oldest. The Cheops, Kephrans, Mycerans, Red, Bent, and Step Pyramid. We don't know their builders. We cannot say that the pharaoh Khufu built the pyramid just because we found a small figurine 1 mile away from the pyramid and somebody inscribed 200 years ago a little hieroglyphic writings on the pyramid walls. In the main pyramids, we don't have royal insignia, hieroglyphic writings, mummies, or anything that belong to the specific kingdoms, in this case, 3rd and 4th dynasty. There are 130 pyramids in Egypt. The mystery is with the first 6 ones, which are much more superior, than the ones that came later. The step pyramid is one of them. What they don't tell us is that under one pyramid in Saqqara archaeological location, there is an underground labyrinth, at least 10 kilometers of radius. Of course, the pyramids are built by the Mayan civilizations, thousands of them. The tallest one stands in Guatemala, about 94 meters. What we have here, again, triangular faces, 4 of them, perfect orientation. As we move during this lecture, we will realize that the concept of the pyramid building was everywhere, and the orientation also. It seems that if the pyramids were not oriented toward the north, they wouldn't work. The only pyramid where they found human bones, in the case of the Mayan civilization, was this one in Palenque. In tiny Belize, former British Honduras, 1,000 Mayan cities, towns and villages, every one of them would have at least one pyramid. Lamanai has the tallest pyramid in Belize. The pyramids were built in Southeast Asia, like on the island of Java. The complex very much looks like a Saqqara complex in Egypt. Western border between Cambodia and Thailand, Kokher pyramid, also step pyramid. In El Salvador, today is only 4 Mayan cities are open for public. One of them in San Andres, and this is the model of their big pyramid. Typical step pyramid built from the volcanic stone. This is partially reconstructed San Andres pyramid. On the top, something that we called temples. In South America, in Bolivia, 13,000 feet above the sea level, used to be a pyramid called Acapena. There is not so much left of that pyramid. It's mostly covered by soil and grass. But what we are finding around are perfectly shaped stone blocks made from granite. Granite is, of course, the strongest material ever. If you want to shape granite like this, nowadays we would need to machine it. Probably most researched pyramid in Central America, the pyramid of Kukulkan in Chichen Itza. And even the pyramids were built in South Korea. 3 circular step pyramid in Andong. Total of 16 pyramids in Greece. And they are all older than what they tell us is the age of Khufu's pyramid in Egypt. They are all small in size. This is the biggest one in Hellenikon, 25 by 20 meters, 12 meters high. The age, 4,700 years, or 2720 BC. Very nice workmanship. 5 locations in Italy with the pyramids. This is one of them, the island of Sicily. Step pyramid, built from volcanic stone. You see how nicely they shape the edges on the corners. This is one of the most beautiful. Hasn't been touched yet. The one in Santa Agata Goti. And about 6 months after I announced the existence of Bosnian pyramids, from eastern Ukraine, in the town of Lugansk, we heard the news that they discovered the pyramid also, covered by soil and vegetation. Yucatan, eastern Mexico, Acanche pyramid, not reconstructed yet. And Canarian Islands, on the western coast of Africa. On 2 islands, especially on Tenerife, there were dozens of pyramids. Again, volcanic stone, step pyramids. From the western side, we got the stairway, which leads to the top of the pyramid. This side is oriented toward the summer solstice. So when the sun comes up, it comes exactly in the middle of the pyramid. On the western part of the island, in the place called Icod, there are more step pyramids. They've been neglected for centuries now. When I had a lecture in La Laguna University in Tenerife, I spoke to some of their professors before the lecture, and I asked them about the pyramids. I said, did you visit the pyramids in Guimar? They said, yeah, we were there, but we don't know if they are pyramids, because the official mainstream science is claiming that these are pile of rocks. When I told them, well, it's obvious that you have 4-sided pyramids, triangular sides, you have steps, you have volcanic stone which has been shaped. They said, well, we don't have PhD in archaeology, and our discussion was over. What happened there? The Spaniards 600 years ago wiped out completely the former inhabitants, Guanche people. And after that they claimed that they were primitive, cave-level people. In reality, Guanches were very advanced. They were building stone towns, irrigation channels, pyramids and temples. On the other side of Africa, so Canarians are here, Africa, and here we have Mauritius, tiny island of Mauritius. Next year, 2010, they are going to celebrate 500 years of the existence of this island, actually of the population which, according to the government and the scientists there, inhabited that island. There is a little problem there. They have pyramids also. They have 7 of them. The fields, you can see those nice structure, exactly the same like on Canarian Islands or in Sicily. Volcanic rock, nicely shaped, 4-sided triangular pyramids. I wrote to them, to the government, to the universities, asking to have meetings with them so we can research them. They were telling me, no, these are pile of rocks built by farmers during 1940s while they were clearing up the lands. 150 years ago, the site of Teotihuacan, the most beautiful ceremonial site in Mexico, looked like this. The famous Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, completely covered by soil and bushes. 3 archaeological campaigns that took place during 75 years period brought us this site. One of the most beautiful structures ever built on the face of the planet. The height, 74 meters. Cheops pyramid in Egypt, exactly 2 times higher, 148. The sides, 230 meters, 230, 230, 230. Cheops, exactly the same. Like we had the same architect on 2 different continents. Of course, tourists are coming in millions. 4 million people visit this place every year and leave $5 billion. 8 million people on Giza Plateau. They leave $15 billion for Egyptian economy. The Chinese pyramids finally became a topic a few years back. The Chinese government, of course, during 1960s and beginning of 1970s did not want to talk about it. But thanks to the satellite technology, we were able to find all 250 pyramids in the central Chinese province of Shanxi. They are all covered by soil and recently planted vegetation. One of them, which they called Yangling Mausoleum in central China, as we can see, completely covered by soil. When looked on this model, we can see perfect triangular faces, 4 of them, flat top, plateau on the top, and perfect orientation, east, west, north, and south. Some of them are step pyramids. Out of 250 pyramids, about 20 of them are superior in size and the building materials. The rest of them are smaller. They are called satellite pyramids. And the Chinese archaeologists did a lot of work on them. They know exactly who they belong to, who built them. But the work on the biggest pyramid is still forbidden. In the previous movie, somebody mentioned Nazca Lines. 50 kilometers south from Nazca Lines in southern Peru, there is an archaeological location called Cavachi.